This morning, debt-burdened cities around the country are studying a major court decision. A federal judge in Michigan ruled on Tuesday that Detroit can cut public pensions as it enters bankruptcy. The milestone finding could affect the retirement of millions of current and former municipal workers. In Detroit, they are among 100,000 creditors owed money. The city's debt stands at $18 billion. Anthony Mason is here. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So what's the significance of this?
Well, I think the significance is basically, union workers now around the country are getting the message that even if the Constitution in the state, which Michigan does, supposedly protects your pension, if the city files Chapter 9, federal law supersedes that, and everything is now on the table. Basically, what the judge said here is Detroit is in deep trouble. Everything has got to be looked at.
And so what is the likelihood of reversal on appeal?
Well, that's the big question. Legally, I can't answer that. There's definitely going to be an appeal. It may go all the way to the Supreme Court, but basically the city is now allowed to proceed with this bankruptcy. They intend to have a plan by January. I think it likely will include some cuts to pensions.
But how did it get this bad, Anthony, and where does it leave the people of Detroit?
Well, the emergency manager of the city, Kevin Orr, basically said, we've been marching our way here for 60 years, and I think that's true. It gets this bad because you've seen the population of Detroit, which was once the fourth largest city, decline by 63%. Your tax base erodes, you don't have the money, the city was mismanaged, and you end up in a crisis like this.
This is not just Detroit. There are other cities, a number of other cities across the country that face shortfalls. Do you think then you'll see other cities starting to declare bankruptcy?
Well, I don't think it's something anybody wants to do. Detroit's situation is particularly dire, but you're right. This is a noose that has been tightening around city and states' necks for decades, and the recession of banks basically pulled it tight. A pension plan is supposed to be 80% funded. There are 34 states in this country that are under that barometer. Only one state, Wisconsin, has a fully funded pension plan, and you're looking at Pew calculated the numbers. They said we are $1.3 trillion short in states of what we need for pension funds.
So the question
for retirees,
yeah, exactly.
When you hear this is really scary.
Well, basically, this is something we've had to confront for a long time, and we're finally hit with it. But the truth is, states can't pay this bill, and they're going to have to do something about it. They're starting to. Illinois just yesterday passed legislation. They're $100 billion in the hole.
So if the states can't, what's going to happen?
Well, basically what has to happen is workers have to contribute more, the states have to contribute more, and benefits have to be cut. That process is beginning, but it's going to take a while.
I thought the auto industry was doing better in Detroit. I was reading something.
The auto industry is doing better, but you got to remember the auto industry was cut way back during the recession, so it's coming back from a really bad place.
And new kinds of collective bargaining agreements as well.
Correct, and also much of the auto industry has moved out of Detroit.
All right, Anthony Mason.
It's an incredible story.
Thank you, sir.